Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do another story time. You guys love it when I do the story times and I haven't done one in a while, so here we are. This is the story about how I almost got abducted by freaking aliens.
Hi, and welcome to my true Hollywood alien story.
Hi, my name's Alyssa, aka Kat, and this is how I almost got abducted.
Me and my best friends Patrick and Alyssa decided we needed to go to the desert to free our souls. At the time, my mom had just been diagnosed with cancer, and I definitely needed a situation where I didn't feel like I was on Earth.
We were over life, we were over people, and we needed a break from reality.
Hayley wasn't having the greatest time in her life.
I wanted to feel like I was the only person there. We called it something like the human experience, something like that. We definitely wanted to be like, we're not on Earth, we are the first people here, we have our set of knowledge, there's no rules, we're gonna do whatever we want. And the only way to achieve that is to be completely abandoned in the middle of nowhere. So where's the middle of nowhere for free? The desert.
And so she decided that we should go on an adventure into a mystical desert somewhere. And so we decided to go into the land of Indio.
We decided to drive all the way to Palm Springs and we were gonna just pick an exit, feel it out, go where we needed to go.
We convinced Patrick to drive us into the middle of the desert while we got really fucked up. Can I say that? While we got really messed up.
Okay, so actually, time out. I wanted to state, Patrick isn't much of a huge partier.
But he does party.
But he's a very safe man and we wanted to be safe ladies. So we asked Patrick if he would be our designated driver. And he politely accepted.
So we got in the car and we had no official destination. We were just driving. Patrick's driving us and we're dancing, we're taking selfies.
Woo, got a little crazy,
Just drank and stuff.
And we're like, Patrick, turn right here, turn left here. Patrick, this is the exit, take this exit. And we're just yelling things at him and he's like,
Bitch!
And we randomly decided an area to park our car.
And when we pulled over, there was nothing in visible sight. We couldn't see any buildings, no people, no cars.
We get to the desert, we're in the new experience of our own worlds. And we had decided we were gonna really just try to learn about the human experience and us as humans. And so basically, it was just a crazy journey. Before the crazy shit happened, it was already crazy. Alyssa got naked right away.
And how it started was, I was immediately called to take all of my clothes off and finger paint. So I went to the car and I got all the painting supplies and I just plopped down on the floor.
And they were like,
I need to paint and I need to live art.
and they were kind of messed up.
Eventually, I got naked too, but at first I was really in artist mode. So we decided to paint some pictures and it was really crazy because Alyssa and I didn't really paint together. We painted together, but we weren't focused on each other or anything. We did what we did in our moment and then later regrouped about it. It was so crazy how concentrated we were.
Living their fantasy on their whole new level of spirituality and I don't know, whatever.
Me and Hayley just sat there, we were just finger painting our lives away. And it was really funny because how our pictures came out were complete opposite.
And when it came out the end, I had this dark abstract thing.
And then Hayley just smashes black and dark blue
And she had this just
thin lines and bright colors. And I was like, this is my life and my aura and my energy.
So we're we're gonna really feel this experience.
Oh, we started painting each other. Actually, this is one of my favorite pictures of me and Hayley ever. But Hayley's throwing paint at me and I'm like, hi. And we're just laughing and it was amazing.
And so I'm just standing there and I'm taking pictures and I'm watching all of this take place. And it's just what the fuck am I watching? I'm watching crack addicts party in the middle of the desert. We're having fun, and then I noticed in the distance there's literally a Mexican party where it's mariachis for 3 fucking hours, and I swear to God it never stopped. And it was how do you go that long? How do you fucking just party night and day and never ending? We're in the middle of nowhere still. This is just random desert. There's a fucking party. I swear it was a wedding or a fucking quinceañera. It was one of those things. Okay, it turns about 12. So like the party stops and it's like we're just chilling and they're listening to their music and they're having their, you know, adventure in inner space.
After that, we decided we were gonna sit on top of Hayley's car and we were like listening to like really good rock music.
Alyssa and I had been talking about in the very beginning how we needed a playlist, of course, to set the mood, take us on a journey. I had so much going on in my life that had been such a crazy week for me, and I just didn't get the chance to really put the playlist that like I really wanted to put together. But you know, my best friend came through. Girl! She blew it out of the water with this playlist. So a lot of people don't know, I grew up singing rock and roll. I'm very into rock and roll. That's like just what I grew up on. Like my number one tied favorite band's Nirvana, Led Zeppelin. And she took me on this Led Zeppelin, the Beatles journey.
And we were just feeling it. Like it was just getting into us and we were moved by the music. Like it really changed our lives, like tickled us from the inside. Like, God, music's amazing.
I don't know, it was peaceful for a couple hours and they're painting and they're just like, you know, art and I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Setting up for this trip, we were like, here's some shit we might need. We bought everything from paintbrushes, paint, to buckets, to ladders. We got on that ladder, we got on top of that car, and we looked at the stars and just listened to the Beatles on repeat. Patrick was pissed.
They kept on like going on the roof and just painting shit, and they like Hayley would be in like this area and Alyssa would be over here and they'd be painting. The whole stand was covered in glitter once we left.
He was pissed. Like I was like, again, I needed to hear the Walrus song. It was just so good. Like I was and still am the Walrus.
But I was like, wow, I'm gonna remember this when I'm 30.
30?
I'm 7. Okay, 7. I'm 70, and I'm gonna be like, wow, they were fucking crazy.
So it was just having a great experience. And in saying that, at one point, Kat, Alyssa, was on top of the car, and I was just like dancing in the middle of the street. I love to dance. So I was just out there being free, and then eventually Kat joined me. And
there was just paint everywhere. It was like, what the fuck? And so a few cars would come every now and then because of that Mexican party that was like, ugh. And so like every time a car would come, it would just be like, what's going on? And Alyssa would run around and be like, vagina!
And they would like kind of be like, what the fuck is happening? But then they would just go. Like we're in the middle of the desert, you know what I mean? Like what are these people gonna do? Like pull over and be like, let me like indulge in this weird scene? Like no.
Like of course they're gonna be like, this weird random bitch is painted and covered in shit and she's just in the desert and why the fuck is this happening at midnight?
At this time, we didn't feel an energy that was harmful. It was just, you know, passers and goers.
That happened and it was like normal and it was like, you know, every like hour a car like may have came, but it wasn't like, you know, there was like 3 cars that whole time.
We're like messing around in the glitter, just realizing things. Like you are a new person. Like one of the things that we realized during that time is like you're a new person from 2 years ago, 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 seconds ago. And so we were always trying to like dig in the energies, and we already, just like as sober human beings in life, are very on a great energetic wavelength. Alyssa and I, you know, and you can think I'm crazy, we can actually read each other's minds. So sometimes we really don't have to say things to like think the same things, because eventually we'll say it at the same time and we just like, confirmation girl.
And so it became like 3 a.m. and it was very like weird, and we were just like, oh, it's very calm and quiet.
And we got off the road and all of a sudden we're like sitting there in the glitter,
and then out of nowhere I look over here and there's like, you know, a car, and I look over there and there's a car, and it's just like lights on, and it's just like they didn't move, they didn't do anything.
The car like was sitting there for a minute,
and then randomly it was just like lights off, and it was like, what the fuck's going on?
So we let the first one go, and that one didn't bother us for like an hour, but it was the second one because they were a little close, and that was like straight on. It was just kind of like, WTF, there's no houses here. So Patrick's like, you guys,
we need to go. And so they're like,
Why? Why do they need to go?
at first, and I'm just like, you guys, something's not right here. Like there's something going on. I don't know why this is happening. Like we're in the middle of nowhere. Why are there fucking random cars turning lights on and off? And it was just so creepy.
So we're slowly picking up everything. I don't know why we were going so slow, but we were going really slow. So we were like grabbing everything, putting it in the car, coming back, and all of a sudden,
Lights on again, and it's just like, what the fuck? So we're packing up. We're like, okay, come on, guys, we gotta go. Like, fuck the glitter, fuck it all, just let's go. Let's get the fuck in the car.
and the last thing to try to get in the car was the fucking ladder. Patrick was literally like, we need to go. The right car starts moving. The right car, though, had a longer way to go, so we're like, okay, fuck. So Patrick's trying to get the ladder in the car. I'm trying to help Patrick, but I'm not really much of a help. At this time, I had a very small vehicle, so try to imagine fitting a ladder into like a box car. So we shoved the freaking ladder in there. All of a sudden, the other car turns on, and it starts fucking coming for us.
These cars, I swear, it's like, you know, one of those commercials where like those cars are racing and you just hear the noise. It was like that was happening, and they were coming closer to us, and it was just like the time was like, you know, and the hourglass was going like more and more, and we're gonna die at the end of the hourglass.
And I'm literally like, my foot's like coming off the ground and getting in the car, and I'm closing the door, and Patrick's like,
Get the fucking car!
literally just like fucking speeds away. It was so crazy, like those cars were coming for us.
And we're driving away, and the car followed us. They actually followed us. I don't know if they remember that, but that fucking car followed us. So I'm driving, and I'm like, we need to turn our lights off. I turned our lights off for like a whole fucking mile or two, and we just were driving in the middle of the desert. We could have fucking died in that time.
So we're like, okay, like we should like, you know, cruise around somewhere else, just cruise in the car, get some air.
And the entire time we're driving away, Hayley kept bitching at me, and she kept saying, I wanna go on the roof! Let me on the roof! I wanna feel my spirit! And I'm just like, Hayley, we're trying to run away from aliens! We're gonna die! And she's like, I just wanna party and I wanna feel my soul! And I'm like, no, like this is gonna be the end of us. I had to convince her, like, you know, no, we need to run away and we need to live. And they're just all like,
No, let's get abducted and kill ourselves.
and I'm like, do you want to spend the rest of your life on like fucking Uranus or some shit? Is that where you want to live with those fucking weirdos?
10 minutes later, we see this truck, and we start getting like weird vibes again. You guys were very vibes people, and I know that sounds so cliche, but we are. We see this truck, and it's going rather slow. I hate slow driving. I was like, Patrick, you need to speed up. I'm gonna have an anxiety attack. We pull up next to it, and all of a sudden, it starts slowing down. And we're like, what the fuck? And we look closer.
And the license plate literally said like UFO 1.
Yeah, we see like a fucking car and it's like UFO cunt, and I'm just like, well, what's going on?
And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, Patrick, go slower. Like, let's see, like, if there's an alien in this car, like, go fucking slower. And so Patrick's like pulling up next to it, and it's slowing down, and we're trying to keep speed with it, but it's going so fucking slow on a road that's like 65, going like 20. All of a sudden we get up to it, all the windows are blacked out. You don't see anything. You see small outline. You can't see what it is. It's completely black. And the front window was completely tinted. A human, like, could you see out of that window? Because we couldn't see anything in it. It was night. This was a highway. There was some lights around. We were like right next to this car. If we wanted to really stop the car, we could have seen who was in there, but we couldn't because when we did, the windows were too blacked out. Weird.
And then the car stops and it like lets us pass it, and we try to slow down, and then it just stops completely. So we're like, what the fuck? And we like zoomed away as fast as we could, got to civilization.
So of course we're not gonna stick around and like find out. Like, we were just already so freaking shook, and we're like, the aliens, it's the aliens. Like, we were vibrating at such a high frequency. They say this is one of my favorite things to tell people, and it's true. When you ping one sound, you ping the same vibration. So one vibe is gonna hit the other vibe, but it's both on the same length. So you'll like attract people around with the same vibrations. And I think we were just vibrating so high that night that we attracted the aliens. And I definitely think they were going to abduct us. I don't know if it's like our fault they didn't abduct us, or basically they were like, nah, they're too basic for us right now. So after that, you know, at the time we were shook and we didn't want to be abducted. Later, you know, Kat she brought up a good point, like she wanted to be abducted, and I was like, shit. You know, Usually I'd want to be abducted, but you know, I was going through some shit at the time for my family, so like it wasn't the good time to be abducted. So I was like, maybe later aliens, right?
And so the only thing we could think to do, because we were really creeped out, we didn't want to keep driving in the middle of the desert, was we went to where other people were.
And so finally we go to a parking lot and we're just chilling, and then she's like, let me on the roof.
Me and Hayley decided that we wanted to sit on top of the roof of the car because that was our favorite part of the night.
Alyssa and I got on top of the car, and I just wanted to feel like I was Aladdin. I just wanted to fly. You know that feeling of like you see a bird and you're like, I wish I could fly? That was me. So basically we're like, let's get on the car. Oh my God, I love her.
That just happens out of nowhere.
I love her so much.
What did she even do?
She just moved. It was so cute. I'm gonna cry. Okay, I love her. We get on top of the car and we're like, Patrick, we need a playlist. And I knew where this journey needed to take us. I had to play the classic Disney princess songs. A Whole New World, Party Your World. We were in all the freaking worlds. We were just living it up. Like I was Cinderella, Snow White, Belle. I was everyone that night.
So we had Patrick drive very slowly around this parking lot as we sang to Disney songs like Aladdin. I can open your eyes, and we're like waving at people as we drive by, and we're doing just laps around listening to really good Disney songs, and people were even like videotaping us, but we didn't give a fuck. Like I was like flashing them and like woo!
We had a grand time by ourselves. We pretended like it was a Coachella stage and we were performing. It was amazing.
And so we did that for like an hour or two, and then we found an abandoned Taco Bell, and we're just driving through there and we're doing that. And the funniest part is I literally stopped the car. Her phone flew off of the car and fucking landed on the ground, and she's like, what the fuck? And it was fine.
And you know, just took in the fresh air, and eventually we went home.
We started to drive home, but I was so scared that I honestly drove to LA on accident when we were supposed to go to Orange County. And so they were still fucked up, so they didn't even notice. It was a 2-hour car ride because they didn't notice I went the complete wrong way. And it was fun, but yeah, we almost died and aliens almost, sucked our brains out.
And, you know, I'm kind of sad I didn't get abducted. I'll agree with Alyssa, but it wasn't my time yet. If they weren't gonna return me. But if they were gonna return me, like, I was free to go.